In a demonstration of the being and attributes of God, Clarke argues for the conclusion that God is the reason for the universe's existence. Clarke's argument is as follows. Something existed from all eternity. If something had not existed from all eternity, then something would have come from nothing. That which has existed from all eternity is unchangeable and independent. If there had not existed from all eternity something unchangeable and independent, then everything that has ever existed would be changeable and dependent. If everything is changeable and dependent, then it is equally possible that everything exists and everything does not exist. Since everything does exist, there seems to be no determining factor that makes it so apart from nothing, and nothing can come from nothing. Having established this first principle, Clarke moves to argue that the immutable, unchanging something must be a necessarily existing, intelligent being. Since anything immutable and unchangeable cannot be caused by anything, it must be self-existent. It is clear that material things are not immutable or unchangeable, since we have seen that all material things might not have existed, since all material things are changeable and dependent. Since material things do exist, they require a necessarily existing thing as the determining factor for existence. Such a necessarily existent thing is an intelligent being. This, says Clarke, can only be argued a posteriori. Everything in the world, according to Clarke, demonstrates the effects of an intelligent cause. Since among the effects we find intelligence, we must conclude that the original cause of all things is intelligent. Hume's reply is to suggest that the first principle, that whatever begins to exist must have a cause, cannot be demonstrated. He then produces his famous maxim that anything may produce anything, and that this can be arrived at a priori. Hume suggests that it is not a contradiction to suppose that something could begin to exist without a cause. If it is possible to conceive of something not existing 1 minute and existing the next, then there can be no contradiction in denying Clarke's causal maxim. Furthermore, argues Hume, there is nothing observable about any object that can be called an effect or a cause. Since nothing about an object is identifiable as a cause or an effect, we must derive the idea from the relation between objects. All we can discover is that one thing happens after another, and it is only from experience that we derive any idea of cause and effect. Yet cause and effect cannot be demonstrated conclusively from experience either. All that is possible is that we observe many things happening in succession, but we cannot conclude from this that there is a cause and there is an effect. If cause and effect cannot be demonstrated, Clarke cannot reach the conclusion that a necessarily existent being exists. Hume then argues that, given the problem of demonstrating cause and effect, it is possible that anything may produce anything. There is no way to demonstrate particular effects from particular causes, and on this basis we cannot conclude that material in motion cannot produce intelligence. Hume's rejection of the causal maxim found in many Enlightenment philosophers led to skepticism over natural religion. The price of his denial is Hume's skepticism. In denying that it is possible to demonstrate the existence of God, he ends up denying that it is possible to demonstrate the existence of anything.